it's that time again.
Brilliant speed.
We're a little early. Hey, we don't mind.
Vibrant broadband internet.
We have it all for you, and now the show is yours.
Well, welcome to Vibrant You Live. My name is Shane.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Bo.
And it's okay that we're a little early because, we sometimes go long.
You always go long.
Well, our subjects are very interesting, including today's subject.
Okay.
We are talking about artificial intelligence, AI. Now, AI is here to stay. I mean, it's the genie's out of the bottle. All we can do is make our wishes, right?
Change the name is all that is.
Right? So to help us navigate AI, we'll discuss how it's used, how you can leverage it to your advantage. And I came up with a philosophical way to think about AI that most people, I think, can relate to. So AI, there's three types of AI that we hear about, right? The first AI is like the Star Trek AI. So that's the AI like the ship, when Captain Kirk says, computer, what is that anomaly out there that we're seeing on the screen, right? Well, this is the helpful AI. So it's the one that the captain asks the question, the computer goes into its database, gives an answer, it analyzes things. So let's say, the doctor can put a petri dish of something into the computer and it analyzes it and it comes back with, what it is or how to cure it, things like that. And it's the one that controls the ship's functions. It can calculate its trajectory, distance, time of arrival, things like that. This is the closest to what our current AI is. So our AI is that kind of a helpful AI. So now there's the Star Wars AI. So what is that? Well, this has some aspects of the AI I just talked about. However, this AI is found in droids or robots, right? So ships and starfighters and cities in Star Wars, they have more primitive technology compared to Star Trek. However, the robots, they're the ones that have the answers. C-3PO, he's a protocol droid, right? He knows, 300,000 different languages and that kind of thing. R2-D2 was a different type of a droid. So that's an AI that companies are they're aiming to build that. So there's companies that are working on autonomous robots, human helpers, for example, or like the maid on the Jetsons. So, we all know I guess of our age, we know the Jetsons, right? Exactly.
Boyle, right?
How do you like that tie-in, huh? And then there's the Terminator AI. Okay, this is the bad AI. This is where AI can get ugly.
I'll be back.
It's the fear-based scenario. It's the AI that is sentient, right? It takes over mankind, once it's released into the atmosphere. AI systems going beyond human oversight or being misused in ways that cause harm. This AI doesn't exist. Okay, and this AI.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. I asked AI, hey, does this AI exist?
Yeah.
AI said, no, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So, those are the three types of AI, and we are the closest to the Star Trek type of AI. So I hope people can understand what that means. Bo, talk about how fast we gain knowledge throughout our history.
Yeah, the speed at which we gain knowledge it's never been quicker. So, back in the Renaissance period, for instance, your understanding of the world is basically what you're looking at, what you can observe, and maybe what your family or friends would tell you. Everything was passed down by stories and by your family. So if you can imagine growing up only knowing what your parents told you, and outside of that, you really didn't know anything else. But as books were mass produced and literacy rates went up, people were able to read and study. But if it was a subject, you're learning about gardening, I'm sure there wasn't 100 books you can get on Amazon back then. You just have to read the one book on gardening, and you just hope that the author knew what they were talking about. And that has spread. Now you got more books. People you get access to reading different viewpoints, and now it's gotten to the point where you can use AI and type in, hey, how do I garden? How do I raise tomatoes or plant potatoes, things like that? And you can just get it at the snap of a finger. You can do it, on your bathroom break. You can do it on your lunch break, and that's a great thing. But it can also be a little bit, you want to be cautious about it because, for instance, if you're wanting to start a diet, you can look up how to diet, and it'll tell you, don't eat any meat, just eat vegetables. And then you can do the same thing, and it'll say, don't eat vegetables, just eat meat. And you can get that same response. So you want to be very careful with what you're typing in and what you're taking as truth. So, AI, you want to get a little more specific. If you're wanting to ask it a question, just be, as specific as possible. And that helps it generate the right answer. So, AI still makes mistakes, and you want to just be a little bit cautious when you're asking questions. But, that's how quickly we can gain knowledge. It's a good thing and a bad thing. You just kind of got to balance the benefits and some of the drawbacks. And then Jane's going to go a little bit more into where is AI being used right now?
Yes. So AI is everywhere. Marketing, Shane uses it all the time. Anywhere in manufacturing, you look at videos, banking, anything, it's out there, and it's in using communication. It's not going away anytime soon. And while it's been around for a long time, in the last 4 years, it probably became more prevalent. And where I see it is, if I'm the person that always goes on to Amazon, and before I order something, I check the negative reviews, and not the positive ones. I was go to the negative ones. Yes. Yeah. And so if you've noticed lately that AI does a recap of the pros and cons of that product for you, so you don't have to read all of that stuff. And then it's in email services. It looks at sorting out specific emails. It looks at the productivity that you can use. And then there's a lot of commercials that are being used, especially during the Super Bowl this year. There was a lot. One that I find annoying that we were talking about is that Doc 86. Everything is AI, and it's an animated person talking. And I don't even know what they sell, but I'll never go there because that lady is just so annoying.
I can't say as I've ever seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Now you guys are gonna watch it and go, oh, she's right. And then the fun and games about AI. So my daughters use Snapchat all the time, and it's a fun tool from the aspect of you can filter your face, and you can, like if you wanted to have a dog look like a dog and you stuck out your tongue would roll out like a dog and you'd have little ears.
Really?
Or, like when Milo, Lauren's dog, turned 4, I took a picture of him and I filtered happy birthday or the birthday boy, that kind of stuff. So you kind of do all these fun little things. But there's just some different things that you can do. Like, Bo, what do you want to add to my Snapchat stuff?
Yeah, I mean, apart from Snapchat, you can do, what you would look like as a 1930s person or an astronaut or an action figure. One of the coolest things actually I've gotten to see firsthand is my friend is really into using AI to make music. So he loves writing lyrics and writing songs, but he doesn't sing and he doesn't really play a lot of instruments. So he'll write the lyrics, put it into AI, and then he says, hey, make this instrument show up at the beginning, make it more of like a rock ballad, make it more of a country song, and he does parody songs that way. So it sounds like an actual song. It's someone singing, but it's all AI, apart from the lyrics, which I think he helps AI helps him write the lyrics too. But I mean, that's just like a hobby that he has. That's a hobby that you can't have had even 10 years ago. So there's a lot of things you can do with AI, and there's going to be more coming up here.
Well, you can have it help you with finances. It doesn't replace a CPA, but it gives you some good direction. Let's say you're putting together a budget. You can put in, these are my expenses, this is my income, how do I, divide this out? What do I put in savings? How can I, pay off a credit card early? Things like that. I use it earlier this year to guide me into what clothing items would match my new suit. I purchased a new suit back in February, and it's like, okay, well, what color tie would go with this, and what color shoes would go best, and things like that. And again, it's just a guide. It kind of helps you, rather than doing research and trying to look at hundreds of different websites. on those subjects, and reading through all that, AI can kind of narrow it down for you. I used it to write a unique recipe for smoked chuck roast chili, and I made that last fall.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty good. Of course, these radio shows, like Jane mentioned, I use it a lot to help research the show, but also to have it check for accuracy. So I want to make sure that, okay, if I say this, is that true or not true? Or how do I need to adjust it to make sure that we're talking about accurate things? Summarizing meetings. So I'm on the Parade of Bands Committee, and we record the meeting, and I put it into ChatGPT, and I tell it to please summarize this meeting, put important bullet points at the top, and then list actionable items. And I, type in who was at the meeting, and it's able to discern, for the most part, like who is in charge of doing what task. Now I have to go in and edit it, so I spend maybe 10 minutes just kind of going through it and changing, no, it was this person supposed to do that task or whatever, right? But it gets 90% of it accurate, so that's pretty helpful. And then farmers are using it today to manage their crops. They use it in irrigation, soil sampling, livestock monitoring, business management, AI-assisted record keeping, and predictive maintenance alerts for equipment. So it's used in every aspect of our lives, like Jane was saying.
The other thing is it comes with warnings, and so it's only as good as we give the information, right? So if you put
Isn't
something
that kind of what they said about Wikipedia years ago?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we've been going through a remodel, and so I have been using AI for that information. And so if I type in something very vague, it's going to spit out something that doesn't even look remotely what I was looking at familiar, So we were working on our fireplace, and I wanted to put this picture above the fireplace. And so I literally just grabbed that picture and dropped it into my AI experience, and it went above the fireplace so I could actually see what it looked like before it actually went up in there. And so it's cool things like that. So you just have to pay attention to, if you're putting in some room dimensions, make sure that they're accurate. Identify north, south, east, west, the height of your ceiling, what the specific color you're looking for, and the more details, because like I said, it's only as good as the information that you put in there. So you just want to make sure the information is accurate, because it's not fun to get incorrect information.
Well, and I'll expand on that just momentarily here. It's kind of like the difference between create a picture of a car. All right, so if you ask AI to create a picture of a car, you're going to have something in mind, and AI will definitely make a picture of a car. But if you're more specific in your prompt, create a picture of a car based on the looks of a 1956 Buick, but include modern 5-spoke chrome wheels, thick white wall tires, and a blower sticking out of the hood. Make the body two-tone red and white, and the interior red leather. Now you have a picture of what that should look like in your head. AI has that same picture, right? If I say draw a picture of a car, you could just pick any random car. It's not going to be what you're thinking in your head. So be very specific in your prompts. Right. And what you type into. That's what Jane was talking about with her.
And I would even say be specific on the color of red.
Yeah, you can go there. Yeah,
red,
exactly.
Or even if you have the model of the wheels, that kind of information. So it's as accurate as you can be.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of think of it just as like when Google first came out, or Ask Jeeves, how to search something was kind of a skill that we had to learn. Mm-hmm. The way we talked isn't how you could type it in to get the results you wanted. So same thing with AI. It's going to take a little time. It's still in its infancy, so it's going to get better. We're going to get better at using it. But approaching it with cautious optimism is probably the best way to go. Every technology has its upsides and downsides, but it's here to stay, like Shane had mentioned, and I think it's going to do a lot more good than bad. And we're going to get more into it on future shows, but we just want to give it a little bit of an overview today.
Just again, change the name, please. Artificial, by definition, is fake.
Well,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Please just call it computer.
computer
information.
intelligence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because artificial blows my generation away. If I'm given something artificial, I'm throwing it in the garbage.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's artificial.
Yeah, it is.
So
yeah.
speaking of intelligence, if you want to learn more
There you
about
go.
dreaming of streaming, we are putting on another event next Wednesday,
right.
May 13th. Come on out to Meeker Energy at 5:30, and we will talk about what you need to stream, how you need to stream, and we look forward to seeing you. The other thing is May 20th is our 91st celebration for member appreciation and subscribers.
boy.
Come on out 4:30 to 7:30 if you're looking for Wattenhofer pork chops. And then if you have any questions about AI or call Woody. No, I'm kidding. Give us a call.
Give you what my generation thinks.
693-3231 or just learn about us at vibrantbroadband.com. Catch the replay on Facebook or YouTube channel. Search for Vibrant Broadband. And then listen live every Wednesday, 10:30 on KLFD.
All right. Thank you, audience, for listening.
Yep.
Thank you, Jeff, for having us. We will boldly go where no one has gone before, right?
There you go.
My name is Shane.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Bo.
Tune in next week for another Vibrant You Live.
Service. Vibrant broadband internet. Vibrant broadband internet.